What up, TikTok? Hey, hope everybody's having a great Friday. Hey, don't let anything that's negative in your life dictate the rest of your life. Does that make sense? Hey, we all go through some hard times. We all go through some emotional stressors, maybe at work, maybe at home, whatever it may be. Don't let that dictate who you are and how you react to the rest of the things that life throws at you. Does that make sense? Like if you're feeling pissed off and angry all morning or all day, you're going to take that energy and you're going to present it to everybody else that surrounds you, your loved ones, your soldiers, whoever it may be. You're going to use that negative energy and it's just going to make everything worse. Try to be positive. Pick something positive in life that's going really well. Use that positive energy and let that dictate the rest of your day. We can harp on the negatives. We can harp on the bad things that are going on in life. It's not going to help us. It's not going to help us move forward. Stay strong, keep pushing, drive on. Happy Friday.
What's up, Trash Talkers? Hitting you up this morning with a special promo on how to dress when you're doing PT in civilians, but you want everybody to know you're an Army. This comes from the Buddy Beckwith fashion design of how to work out. So first, you can notice the RI panties. Not Ranger panties, but Ranger Instructor panties. The green socks, the knee brace for the old guys. Don't forget the M frames. Now the shirt, don't wear the Trash Talk shirt while you're running. This is just for the promo. You want to put on like an 80-second shirt or like your favorite airborne shirt so everybody knows that you're a veteran. That's the most important thing. And you start with this stretch. Buddy Beckwith taught me this one. Ready to go.
So, I'm walking out of the gas station and my co-worker, who's an old MP, but we still claim him, and he has engaged the man in conversation. Not much for conversation with strangers, but he's got the tab. So, as I walk by, I say airborne, and the man responds with, and I quote, "Hoorah." So, after I instructed my co-worker to slash every single tire before he put the car in gear, I looked for the biggest rock. As I crow hop to throw it through his back window so he can stop posing as one of us, I actually wake up and realize that the man's ignorance had incapacitated me for a moment, and I was daydreaming. I mean, because in that moment you got two options. I chose the third option and said, "Incorrect. That's an incorrect response." And I kept walking. The man said nothing and he pulled away. So you tell me, what is it, a stolen valor thing? No Marine's gonna have an airborne tab, and no paratrooper's gonna say hidden hoorah. So you tell me, stolen valor?
Hey, y'all, going to work. I left you a note on the refrigerator. I love y'all. I'm gonna go.
Hey, go get dressed. Get ready for school.
You're doing great. I was tooling along. Shit! Bad guys! Stop!
Let me break it down Barney style.
This is the Veteran Trash Talk Hour, hosted by Nick, Dave, Joe, and Buddy. Real warriors making fun of other real warriors. Try to not get triggered.
Boom, we are back.
Look at those
Welcome to
tiny-
episode 97 of the Trash Talk Hour. Shout out to our sponsors, 10th Mountain Whiskey. Check them out at 10thwhiskey.com. Type in VTT and get a discount. Special guest today is Jason Morrison, author of The Perfect Fucking Life. And get this, he's a Marine Recon veteran. I don't know how he wrote the book. We're about to figure all that shit out. You know, maybe in Crown or whatever. We'll get to that in a second. And
In
today
what?
I'm joined
Whoa,
by Nick.
stop.
And what?
Hold on. In Crown?
What?
Crayon.
Crayon?
Crayon.
Crayon?
I say crayon.
What did you just say?
And when did
Hey,
you stop
those
working
things are
out?
delicious. I
Auf
don't want to
Deutsch,
hear you
auf
talk
Deutsch nennt
about
man das Crayon.
Ruined
Hey,
it.
Dave, when did
I
you
did that
stop
for you,
working
buddy.
out?
I did that for you, buddy.
Dave, when did you stop working out?
It's an,
Like you used to be jacked, bro. The day you took this
Triple
month off
XL,
and didn't
man.
do shit.
man, this
Yeah.
dumpster fire is already kickstarting, isn't it?
Oh, God.
Buddy, I have to get you excited at the beginning of the show, man. I just
Buddy's
want to do
always
that.
excited.
You
You
know,
got me. You got
I did
me
get
right
you
there.
excited. Look at you, man. I haven't seen you in like 30 days, man. It's been a while. I like your hair today.
I like that both of us are using our right to bear arms
We are.
right here on this show. Yeah.
We are. We
I
are.
like it.
The guns are out. Yeah.
Yeah, we couldn't
Yeah.
release that episode because the Jag off course said no.
Yeah.
The
That
Jag
was
off core.
Bullshit.
Were
Yeah.
you guys
Hilarious.
part of the small arms instructor course there in Army?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's obviously the NCOIC of it. So
We
Is he?
had. You're lucky that I haven't gotten my. Well, since the show didn't come out, you'll never know the plan to go get bear arms installed onto my regular arms. Since
I'm gonna-
the
I'm-
second,
Nice.
the
I
second
like
amendment.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna release
I have
I'm
to
gonna
write
release
the
the
bear
audio of that show
Just
for
get it.
sure though. I'm
You just-
releasing the audio of that show.
Get a tattoo of that or something, buddy.
Yeah, so
I
we
mean,
were asking
I have-
we were asking a lawyer how the Constitution worked, and so
Yeah.
Buddy was going through all the first couple amendments, the Bill of Rights, and it was just like, so the right to bear arms, I should be able to have bear arms.
Yeah.
Like,
Go get 'em. Like, it makes sense to me. And
The lawyer's
if
like,
you're
well, I
That's what it
guess-
friggin' says, dude.
Yeah.
hey, it also says that that I can't have seizures if I don't want them. So if you're epileptic, you should just go talk to the government because they
just say you
got
don't
I
Right.
should sue the
anymore.
government because
I
I have
know
the
my
right
right.
to no seizures, and
Yeah.
here I am.
I can.
There's the fix to all
Yeah,
world
bro.
problems, man. Yeah.
Hey, just know your rights.
Just know your rights, man.
As soon as you start like falling over doing the kicking chicken.
Hey, so let's kick this dumpster fire. Well, it already started, I guess, so that's good. We haven't been together in at least 30
I like that
days.
angle, that mic you
So,
have going, Dave.
that was
I'm not
good.
going to say anything
Yeah.
about that,
Yeah.
but it's
You like it?
pretty. Yeah, it's pretty
Kind of
solid.
cute, huh?
Yeah, uh-huh.
Brings you back to the old days.
In Germany
In Germany.
with David Hasselhoff.
Yeah.
No,
No, not really. I mean, maybe. Yeah, who knows? But anyway, we're gonna we always talk about conspiracies at the beginning of the show. So today we are gonna talk about mermaids. All right. I kind of looked this up this morning. You know, my thing is UFOs, UAPs, whatever you want to call them, and aliens. But I was like, this mermaid thing, I've seen some videos on YouTube. I'm like, I'm gonna kickstart it with mermaids. So I did a little bit of research, and apparently they've been around for thousands and thousands of years. Okay, there's actually paintings. Of course they have. Mythological creatures or whatever. There's actually paintings in caves of mermaids. Pirates like Blackbeard. Blackbeard. Sorry, not Blackbeard.
Black Bear.
Yeah.
Mm.
He used to take his ship.
Must have been a German
And
pirate.
used to tell his crew
Native American
to go
pirate.
a different direction, avoid certain waters, because apparently mermaids were out there and they would attack the ships and everything. So he was
Yeah, and a
extremely
pirate would never lie.
he was extremely afraid of mermaids. Okay. Apparently Christopher Columbus spotted 3 mermaids. Okay, while he was out there, doing his thing. In 1943, a bunch of Japanese soldiers on island, it's K Island is the name, they shot at a mermaid because they were on this island patrolling or whatever, and then they saw this mermaid in the water, and it was aggressive, so they started shooting at it.
Kill
Okay,
that motherfucker.
yeah, they didn't kill it. It got.
Everyone
guess
knows
what?
you
It got
kill
away.
what
You record.
Guess what? It got away. All right.
Everyone knows you kill what you do not
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah, Japanese soldiers apparently can't shoot. And then in 2012, in Zimbabwe, there were a couple divers. They were going to go fix this dam, and they swam there, tried to fix
Zimbabwe,
the dam,
that's
and
in
then
South America.
Yep, they saw. Good job, Nick. And they saw. They tried to fix
Exactly
this
right.
dam, and then they saw a mermaid in the water, or
No big
several
deal.
even. They swam away. They're like, "Fuck this shit. We're not working on this dam." And then they hired another group of divers that came in, and they saw the mermaids as well. And apparently, the dam still isn't fixed. Nobody wants to touch those waters. Nobody wants to be close to the mermaids because apparently they will kill you.
You're gonna get your
So,
shot, buddy. You're gonna get your
You're
shot.
gonna get your shot, buddy. I sent
Yeah.
Chris some pictures. I don't know if you put them up. or not. So
Yeah, they're up. They're up.
Yeah, so that picture is apparently a mermaid that washed up somewhere in Britain, and I think it was in 2012.
Killer whales.
The body, yeah, killer whales. I don't know. And then the one below is mummified mermaid, apparently 300 years old. So
They were up the Nile, so the Egyptians got them up.
yeah, and that belongs. It's actually they keep it in Japan because if you eat the flesh of a mermaid, you're supposed to be able to live forever. So like really weird shit. Who knows, man? I don't know. I don't really believe in the mermaid thing. I mean, we do know like the ocean is what 5% explored. So there, you know, who knows what's in there? But mermaids probably not my thing. So I'm just gonna give it a big fat no and say mermaids do not exist. What's your
Even
take?
if they do,
Jason?
and you have the sack to eat out of friggin' mermaid,
That'd be intense, right? And then you live
you
forever,
deserve to
right?
live forever, bro.
I mean, I agree.
I mean, it would be fishy.
It would be extremely. Oh.
Don't watch this one, babe. Yeah.
All right, guys.
But anyway, Jason, the guest gets to
Right
go
down,
first.
bro.
Give us your take. Are mermaids real? Is this all a bunch of bullshit? You know, do they exist? I mean, what's your thought?
I mean, the ocean's pretty big. There's a lot of shit in there, you know, that we don't know about yet. So, you know,
Absolutely.
they could be, who knows what's going on down there. But, you know, it's a fair question, especially when you see shit flopping around, you know. But, you know, that's just probably all because, you know, all that toxic crap we're dumping in the Straits of Malacca and shit, you know what I mean? Nuclear crap and everything. But if you have a fossilized mermaid for 300 years old, you know, I don't know, that's something else. I mean, I think there is shit around on the earth that we don't know about.
I mean, we've explored more of space than we have of the ocean.
Yeah,
you know?
totally.
Like it. Yeah,
Well, that's because all you gotta do is look at space, Dave.
No, you got
right. You just look.
Yeah.
Right. You can't look into the water. All right. Like, oh, it's blue. Right. Like, nice.
Dude, I mean, I spent a lot of time in the water. I was a diver in the Marine Corps, and I just, you know, I fucking hate the water. Fuck the water.
Mm-hmm.
It's cold. It's very wet, and then you get dirt all over you after you get out of it, and it just kind of makes everything shitty. So if there are mermaids, I mean, there's some pretty badass creatures or whatever for, you know, being able to live and survive down there. But here's my question: how did they get this? You know, this aura around them is some beautiful freaking siren from the sea. I mean, you think about it. If you're
the siren,
wrinkly and shit from being in the water all the time. And I don't.
Yeah,
the history behind the siren is actually it's deadly. So when these pirates were out there and they'd hear the siren, they'd get drunk or whatever, and they'd want to go towards it, and then they would fall in the water and die.
Some shit.
And then, and then it would fall in the water and die.
McKenna Gretchen on Gruntwork says, well, yeah, weren't mermaid sirens ? They seduced you and then killed you.
Yep.
So, yeah, she's all over it.
Well, I would say, guys, for the Army guys at least, stay away from mermaids.
we fear water. Well, Buddy doesn't. But Buddy,
what about those two pictures though? Like, I don't know. The second one is pretty weird. I think the first one is just some artist made that or whatever. The second one is definitely. That one is fucking weird.
Yeah, that's creepy.
I don't know about the first one though, you know?
Yeah. I mean, that just looks like an undeveloped fetus.
Yeah, like
so that was the first abortion in Africa, right
Kill
there.
it.
There you go.
Kill it.
Shit. All right, so Jason says they exist. Awesome. Buddy, what's your take?
There's so much about your what you just to unpack, if you will. From what you just talked about. Like, first of all, what does an aggressive part human, part fish do? Like, do they just jump up on your boat and then flop around and like grab at you?
Yeah, so let me hit on that real quick. I guess they talked about in the past, because they're part human, so you know, when we evolved and everything, that there is a certain group of humans that, you know, instead of looking for
the Amish.
No. Instead of like looking for
basically
resources on Earth, they started looking for resources in the water, you know, thousands and thousands of years ago. So they kind of evolved into these water people. Like, I don't know, man. It sounds crazy. I know, but like, that's what historical data, like scientists who
historical data,
not data. It's not historical data. What scientists have said, okay, is that they're part human,
wife.
you know, part
Awesome.
fish or whatever.
Say hi.
So, I don't know.
Is she allowed to talk on Saturdays?
Can she say something?
Yeah.
Go for it, baby.
Hello, mate.
Hey,
This is my best
Hey.
friend right here.
Hey, how do we know she doesn't have fins? No.
You know,
Oh,
man.
yeah,
Like the
she
mermaids,
could be
babe.
a mermaid.
Well,
Yeah.
Don't tell.
That's why I think they exist.
Love
but
you
anyway, go
guys.
ahead, buddy. Go ahead.
If they get
Bye.
aggressive, you'll have to shoot at them. So, the aggressive
Yeah, baby.
water mermaid people. I don't know. I feel like if first of all the whole.
So you're just saying they can't be aggressive? Like that's weird. Like why are they
I
aggressive?
just feel like it's weird. If you're,
No shit.
I've never actually been on a boat or a ship in my life where I was worried about something coming out of the water.
Well, you didn't
and
hear the
being
sirens. They didn't
aggressive.
seduce
didn't-
you.
Now,
they
if
didn't-
I was- if I
You're
was
right. Nick
in
is
the
right. They didn't
water-
seduce you. They weren't after you, man.
If
Yeah,
I
you
was
obviously
in the
don't fit
water-
the mermaid type.
I
Like,
guess
Yeah.
it's not down. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, but
that's
bro,
because-
here,
that's
think about
because I'm a
this.
lesbian. They don't want me. That's
So as a
because I'm-
combat
Yes,
diver, buddy, you never spotted any mermaids, huh?
Yeah, well, that's the thing.
Combat
I guess
diver.
if I was in the water,
Yeah,
it would be a
none.
little creepy if fucking
I'm a
something like
combat
swam
medic.
by and like grabbed myself. But I would still feel like if it was like I could still beat up a mermaid. I feel like I could beat you up in the
Dude, well,
water.
actually, that's what I was gonna say. But how many times have you been like totally eviscerated by a woman? You could, if you were so inclined, you could beat one
One
up.
time.
Yeah, but they
But they could still
One time-
fucking just
one time.
destroy you.
No, there was one time when I was in the
That is
fifth
true.
grade. I
That
was
is
trying
true.
to get on a bus, and we'll call her Chrissy. We're not going to say the last name, but her first name was Chrissy, and she fucking beat the shit out of me. I was like, I don't understand what's going on. Why am I getting beat up by this girl? But I was
Probably asked
definitely
for it.
rocked.
You probably asked for it.
No, I did not.
yeah,
I
I'm
did
gonna
not.
side with
He's a
Buddy on
bully.
that one. He really does. He's
He's a
really
big bully.
non-confrontational.
That being said,
It could be a sexual thing for Buddy.
I don't get
Maybe he
like,
likes
all
that
of
shit.
those stories. Not to sound like Joe, but all those stories, like the Japanese one, like
Yeah.
that sounds
Apparently, like if you read up more on it, the
Sounds
general
like-
actually, they brought the general to the location, and they apparently saw another one.
You mean Admiral?
Like there's a whole
Right,
no, it was a
right.
general. It was Japanese army.
the
It was their
Japanese,
general, yeah.
Yeah.
So they actually brought him to that location where they shot at the mermaid. There's a whole article on it. And he apparently saw the mermaid as well on this island.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
who
yeah,
knows?
yeah.
Again, I don't believe in it
Like that,
either, buddy. This is the first time where I'm like,
sounds a lot like some Japanese soldiers in 1943 saw that the war wasn't really going the way they wanted to, so they got a hold of some sake and they
Yeah.
sat out and they talked about the world's problems and how
Yeah.
if they were Tojo, they would have done it. They got hammered. They started shooting their guns, and then Captain whoever came out and was like, "Oh, what you do?" And they were like, "Oh, mermaid." And then
Yeah,
it was like, "Fuck, there's
Oh.
mermaids." I guess. We
Yeah,
were shooting at
exactly.
the-
Someone was getting
Yeah.
written up,
Oh,
you
no,
know,
they
or
really
whatever.
aggressive. They super aggressive mermaid. Come.
what about Christopher Columbus?
Oh, you go the guy that said that he
Oh, yeah,
discovered a brand new place, but
Yeah.
he wouldn't lie at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah,
He would
flat
never
Earth theory.
say that he.
Yeah, yeah.
That he
Saw mermaids.
Yeah,
Right?
I mean, all of those people stand to gain by mermaids being plausible. I would say it's.
But then
no.
also,
If
what do you
you're
have?
gonna go,
You know, stand to gain like
no,
just.
I am not. I'm old enough to remember a little movie back in the '80s called Splash. And if
Yeah,
mermaids-
I remember that movie.
If mermaids are that hot, come on.
Right next
They
to
are.
Porky. Right next to Porky.
They aren't though.
Yeah.
That's the thing. They're not.
Seduce away, mermaids. Seduce
Dude,
away.
exactly. Right now, I mean, you're gonna die of something. You might as well die that way. If you think
Dude, how cool would it
it's
be?
not a
to
bad
show
way to go
up?
out.
How
What
cool
about
would
the
it be to show
Zimbabwe
up at the
divers,
gate?
buddy? The Zimbabwe
What about
divers. They were trying to fix the dam and supposedly spotted mermaids.
First of all, how is
Quit.
the dam broken? Is it not blocking water anymore? What are we talking about? Like, what the fuck are we actually talking? The
I already
dam's
forgot
broken.
what the topic was.
It's a broken dam. The
That
dam
is a pretty
broken.
significant problem. You might want to do
Yeah.
something about this, like
Yeah.
have a nuclear power plant. It's on
Yeah,
the
there's
fritz.
two reasons
It'll
for
be-
a dam. There's two
It's on
reasons
the
for a
fritz.
dam. One, to stop the water from going to another country, or to stop a town from getting flooded.
Supposedly
So it's
this
like-
dam, I'd have to look it up again, but supposedly this dam is still not fixed because nobody wants to go back.
You
to
should
that
go.
area.
We should do a show from the dam.
The dam's not fixed because it's in Zimbabwe. That's what it is. It's nothing to do with mermaids. It's nothing to do with the fact that it's in Zimbabwe. Marines.
All right, so
They probably don't have great roads either, and their school system sucks.
I think Buddy's yelling so
Buddy-
loud his audio is not.
his
picking
audio
up.
is actually, yeah.
It may have gone on the print,
Yeah.
but that's why the dam's not fixed.
Maybe the
I
mermaids
can
are the
quote-
aliens of the ocean.
I can quote the first person that noticed that it was broken, though. Damn.
That was a dad joke.
Bam. That one was free. That
All
was
right.
free. You don't have to pay for
Jason,
that
mermaids, yes. Buddy, mermaids, no. Nick,
You're good. You. All right, that was a good one. I just got a comment here, McKenna. I appreciate all the things. I want to know, McKenna, are you a veteran? Because we got to get you on the show. She said, Amber Heard is a siren. So that was a good one. I chuckled at that one. So she might poop on your pillow, and that's a sign that you probably need to go. Anyways, the mermaids are 100% not real. I think they're just I think it's something that men made up in their minds to, make an excuse for why they continue to let women destroy their lives. So they made up a mythical creature, and when they were we're talking back in the day, like
there's
Dude,
there's
life
there's
destroyed by
mermen
some
too.
pretty,
Like there's
you
the
don't need
male
mythical
version
creatures
as well.
to destroy your life. Like,
right, that's what I'm saying. But like when I think it was a bunch of sailors who, when they came back to port and they were telling stories those 3 months out to sea, how they hate their lives. When they get back to port, it was about mermaids, and they were actually talking about the women on land.
Oh, so
right?
that was like their
Yeah, that was their code word.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Okay.
because that way, it's just you just don't really get in too much trouble with it. But
And then the bodies, Nick, the pictures.
Oh,
those
she's
two?
Marine Corps. She's Marine Corps.
What about Eric Winchester says, what about Bigfoot? We covered him already a couple episodes ago.
You know, it's funny. There was just
we know that
TikTok where
Sasquatch
they were
likes
making
humpback
fun of that
whale
stuff.
noises. All right, we've already covered this. Whoever's asking.
Ooh,
So,
what
yeah.
if Bigfoot and a mermaid hook up?
Bang.
Then who
That'd be some savage
who
shit.
wins?
Forget about it.
B, that's a
And
movie
then
script
here's
right
the
there.
other reason why mermaids don't exist, because they obviously didn't follow the evolutionary ladder where this, if you follow that dumb shit in the theory of evolution and some fish decided to start fucking walking on land. It's like, did this mermaid like all of a sudden just like, you know what? Fuck that. I'm halfway past my evolution. I'm going back in. Like, nope, this
Amish.
is it.
They're Amish. It's the Amish
Yeah,
of
right.
fish. They just decided to stop. They're like, nope.
But yeah,
We're gonna take our
let's
tractor to
let's get to Buddy's honesty cap. Hey, but anyways, those of you watching, thanks for tuning in. We took a month off for July because that's when most of us do our vacations and have all that good stuff with the family. But we're back. It's August, and we've been waiting a month to hear the best part of the show. 60% of the time, all the time, is Buddy Beckwith's honesty cap. So, Buddy, what do you got, man?
Well, we have been gone for a month. And I've been, I was racking my brain earlier because there's, when you're trying to think of something to say and you're
That's
like,
not
there's
hard.
just too much. There's too much to cover. Like in the last month, we've gone through monkeypox. That was a thing.
That's still a thing, isn't it?
No, yeah, they just declared a state of emergency yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh my
I don't
God,
follow on
no.
that. I don't follow up on that
For the
shit.
monkey-
Because
monkeypox.
it's actually an STD. It mostly hits gay men. So
Yeah,
we
which is
won't say
crazy
on
that
the-
it popped up.
Wasn't there
really
that,
big after-
huge orgy supposedly that happened in California, and then all those people suddenly had monkeypox? I read an artitle about that 3 days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah,
I'm just saying.
Weird.
So,
You do dirty
yeah.
shit, you get dirty.
Yeah, and
Funny how that works.
the president of these United States apparently.
Hope it was
got
worth it. Might have
cancer.
been for a few.
Yeah, some might have enjoyed it. Yeah.
Yeah,
They got like
well,
warts in
you
their
know.
faces and arms now. Go ahead. buddy.
Well, that's the thing. Where does it come from?
I don't
Is
know.
it is it or is it like the like?
No, it's a sexually transmitted
It's an
disease.
STD that they
God.
won't call it that because they're trying to get mail-in voting again.
But where did it
Yeah,
come
well-
from? No, really. Where did it originate?
Monkeys.
A monkey apparently just like
Where was the
It's
first
supposedly-
monkeypox outbreak?
Just like
No,
AIDS, the last
like people-
disease to kill all the homosexuals.
Was
was
it
AIDS.
Europe or was it
From
somewhere in
monkeys.
Asia? again?
supposedly from monkeys. Remember?
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember. AIDS was at one point. Oh, it's the monkeys.
Yep.
It did
Lots
come
of
from
stuff
monkeys.
coming from monkeys. Bats. Apparently, we just need
Yeah,
to start
bats
going
killed. Bats
wholesale.
just killed a shit ton of people.
Yeah, we need to go wholesale on these rogue animals, these rogue biological warriors that are out here just
I
They're
think
taking the
are-
planet back, man. They said they were going to get rid of these humans. You know.
I mean, if you could just keep your dick in your pants around the monkeys, I think we'd all be fine. There's one or two weak links in our race that are messing it up for everyone.
Who's out here at the zoo looking at monkeys and just going,
God,
I mean, we say that about some people with donkeys, right? I'm just saying.
Donkeys and goats.
Really
Yeah.
there's this half an inch of plexiglass between me and that fine monkey butt. That's what I'm.
How do you think somebody figured out goat skin condoms would work the first time? You know what I mean? So
yeah, exactly. Nothing different. Let's see. The president. We found out that the president apparently has cancer. His words, not mine. Like he's got the cancer. So now we're looking at Miss Harris and Miss Pelosi to be the president and vice president at some point. That ought to be fun. That should be a good experiment for the like. I can't wait until North Korea finds out that Nancy Pelosi is the vice president. Like her husband is going to get all the drinks and just a go-kart or something to drive around. It's gonna be sick. Let's see, Europeans.
She's old too, isn't she? Pelosi's like old as fuck.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
She's like in her 80s.
Apparently, she told her staff that she wanted to tie one on, and they flew her to Taiwan. You know, and she's like, "No, I just wanted to get drunk."
She's like, "Yeah, well, you're drunk already. We didn't know you wanted to get more drunk. We figured you wanted to go to Taiwan." Let's see. And then my very favorite thing that's happened in the last month is that the Europeans who love to look down their noses at us backwards, fucked up Americans realize that air conditioning is a thing. I love it. Their little heat wave that's like killing the British like it's Nazi bombs in 1942. And they're like, I don't know what to do. Get an air conditioner. That's what we do. We condition our air so that we can live. Dave's over here in Arizona. It's 100 and Satan's balls outside, and he's in a t-shirt just chilling in a house, hasn't sweated one bit. You know why? Because we have machines for that. We invented something. Maybe
105 today. Maybe
they should look into it, and they would be a lot better off. They can condition their own air. I'm just saying. These are really the only honesty caps I have because I've been too busy reading A Perfect Fucking Life. So
yeah, that was a good segue. I see what you did there. I just have to, comment again before Dave even thinks about it when he tries to say that like Europe is somehow anywhere remotely better than the United States at anything. It's just like they suck, right? They're stupid, right? It's
stupid.
Yes, they're stupid. Mm-hmm. They used all their natural resources. They had to go find other ways around, to find all that stuff. Like they really ruined everything. All right, so we won't even get into that.
I would say that they're stupid.
Yeah, they are.
I think they kind of help with NASA because
they help with NASA. Okay, great.
I mean,
you do realize that they did.
You do realize that
Braun had a great.
You do realize we are all of European descent. All right, except for some other people.
Of course, absolutely.
But
you are not referring to that right now. You are referring to your.
I'm referring to right now, not freaking.
Think about it. Everyone that came over here just left to get the fuck out of there.
Right, because they were stupid.
Yeah.
No. Europeans were smart in the 1940s. The problem is that we exported all of them.
Right, we exported all the Germans.
That's exactly what happened.
We brought all the Germans over. Yeah,
and that's why we.
And again, yes, Europeans. There are definitely some European countries over there where we're like, what the fuck? Yes, so.
No, like
we're not talking about individual countries.
Like Buddy was saying, it was like they're bitch about America, and then all of a sudden they all die because it got hot out. It's like like innovation, motherfucker. Weird how that works.
It's a different way of life over there.
Yeah.
My buddies were losing their shit when I posted that picture with Lennon the other day, showing them the AR, kind of just teaching them, what an AR looks like, all that good stuff. And all my buddies from Germany were hitting me up. You should get him a fucking instrument. How about trying an instrument?
And I said AR-15 is an instrument,
dude.
Goddamn right.
They were messaging me and losing it. America, mass shootings, and kids with guns. That's like literally the only thing they could think of because that's just being portrayed in the media that way.
How,
It was
how
insane,
shitty would it be
man.
if we taught American children how to safely handle a weapon and the
Wow, right?
repercussions of that
That
weapon,
concept, right?
as opposed to just being like, never ever
Yeah.
look at them.
Yeah. You
But
mean take the
here's a big
curiosity factor away? Holy shit!
Yeah.
What
I
a
remember
concept!
that,
What a
I
concept!
remember being a kid and my dad taking me out with a regular rifle and putting a roast beef out and making me shoot it to go, hey, look, this is what happens when you shoot people.
Oh, that's dope. Yeah.
Don't shoot people.
Yeah.
You don't come back from that.
Yeah. It was wild, man. They lost their shit over that picture.
Yeah, it's because they're stupid.
What?
And I hope they're watching. So I was trying to say it before, and you interrupted me. Like I said, it's because they're stupid. But anyway, okay, we'll get over it.
We'll just leave that up.
There's things that I'm dumb about, but not many. All right. Okay.
God.
Yeah. I get the distinct pleasure coming back from our vacation to introduce our guest. Now, Jason Lee Morrison. All right, he's a Marine Force Recon stud, and people don't realize this, but I the only time I really don't troll anybody is, and I do a little bit, but it's on LinkedIn, right? And LinkedIn, guys, if you're not on there looking for talent, looking for people trying to make a difference, that's a good spot to go see people who are actually doing something. And that's I ran
this portion of the show is sponsored by
LinkedIn. I wish.
Get on your LinkedIn account.
Maybe, but anyways, like, no, but that's where I met Jason, and I saw the book title. I'm like, that is a great book title. All right, it's a perfect fucking life, right? And I'm like, I got to read this, and this is perfect because this is perfect for us. This is perfect for a lot of people. This book is great for combat veterans, other veterans, and anybody else who kind of just turns their brain on and off at certain times because a lot of us have been trained to. So, threat, not a threat, trained here, this way, that way, looking. But, as Buddy's always funny on his honesty caps and my book of Earl, people are always like, just write it down. Like, why don't you guys write it down and make a book? And it's exactly what Jason did. And it's phenomenal. Please go get it. He'll throw the plugs out there. But if you have, it's not a long read because it was written by a Marine, but it actually, yeah, it actually.
You know what my favorite part of this book is, Nick? My favorite part of this book is that it looks substantial. Like it looks.
And then
people think you're actually reading something cool.
You can only fit two sentences on one page.
Fly through it because it's like a paragraph on a page, and you're just like, yeah, what are you reading? Oh, it's the memoirs of. It's called "It's the Perfect Fucking Life," and it's really just. Some thoughts, some poetry. You get to say poetry. You're a dude, and you're like, oh, I'm reading poetry.
Do you read that while you're walking around on campus, buddy? Or do you still go to college?
Oh,
it hasn't started yet, Dave. It hasn't started yet. We got another couple weeks, okay?
Of August. Yeah. Come on.
Yeah. But no, we got Jason Lee Morrison on the Trash Talk Hour. Again, former Marine Recon, all right? A stud. And then one of the passages I'll introduce him with from his book is poetry's not dead, the poets are. But we found a poet, and it happens to be a poet that stacks some bodies. So Jason, welcome. What? Jason, welcome to the Trash Talk Hour. Tell us your story a little bit. Tell us, why you wrote the book, where people can find the book, and I don't know, just be fucking funny.
Cheers.
God damn it.
Yeah.
That last part's a bitch. I have a shitty personality, man.
Yeah. Let it out, brother. Let it out.
So thanks, guys, man. So it's, first of all, cool just to hang out with you guys. And it's cool to see this kind of stuff going on in the veteran community. I'll be honest, I fucking hate the veteran card because it's like, I feel sorry for me. But this isn't that. This is like, hey, we are this is the thing about veterans when they come back, get out of the service, whatever. And I'm not talking about all of them. There are definitely plenty of limp dicks out there. But it's like you're trying to drive your bumper car around and you're really frustrated at it. And it's not because you don't know how to drive a bumper car. It's because you're a fucking Formula One race driver. And you've been driving freaking Formula One cars for the last 10 years. And now everyone's pissed off at you because you can't figure out your bumper car. That's life coming from an ultra intense lifestyle when life and death is on the line. And it's not always life and death, but you have to freaking
I mean, that's what everything is focused on. And then
more
you come
often
back
than
to,
not, it is.
what's that?
I said more often than not.
Yeah.
It is. Like,
Well,
even
either
the
way,
little
if you aren't paying attention, it'll come up and you won't be paying attention. And guess what's going to happen next? So, anyway, I think veterans are kind of misunderstood by themselves in some ways, and definitely by everyone else, because we don't even know what the fuck's going on in our own heads. But it's not a thing of incompetence. It's a thing of if you lived on Mars for 10 years, you'd probably have a hard time, assimilating back into another freaking planet. It is another planet. When you guys know, when it occurs to you that I could be dead in 3 seconds when I'm rolling out the gate or whatever, and that's a fact. And it's not just a maybe. There's a good, maybe even a probability of it happening. Yep. And you jock up anyway and you go out. It doesn't get any less scary, at least for me. This shit was terrifying.
Fuck yeah, it was.
The cool part about it, though, it was it's fuck terrifying as fuck. But it was just as fun as it was terrifying, to be perfectly honest. You know what I mean? And I think that I hate to say it like that because people are going to misunderstand. I think I'm some sadistic bastard, but it is actually really fun to shoot at people. I mean, oh, damn. And then the bullets come back your way and it's fucking horrifying. So it's the same thing going on. It's like, your normal life has this kind of wavelength thing. When you're in combat, it's like big ups, big downs. You've really expanded your capacity to your capacity of experience, right? It's not that. So it's still the same things. It's just the intensity has increased. Anyway, I think that's a lot of. I think what we kind of go through as veterans is trying to figure out what's going on in our own heads, and other people are trying to figure us out too. So it's kind of it's a shit show. But there is the reason I wrote the book. I was deployed I was in OIF1 and then I banged around the desert most of my time I was a contractor, a nasty, dirty war profiteer. But I had a great time and I got to see a lot of stuff for 7 or 8 years.
Get $5.
What's that?
Let me get $5. I know you need that money.
Dude, I spent all this shit in
that briefcase.
That shit ain't around anymore.
That bank account's got some commas in it.
No. That's just
if you read the book, Dave, you know that doesn't have commas in it anymore.
But actually, great segue. When I transitioned out of being a gunfighter into, I actually was like a nerd for you remember JIDO, Joint ID Defeat Organization? Mm-hmm. And they had this thing called the COIC, Counter Operations Intelligence Integration Center. Somehow I got a job at the COIC, and I thought my job was going to be like the special operations liaison to the nerds. So like, hey, we have this request for intelligence support came in. Please explain it to the analysts. That's what I thought the job was going to be. No, I was in charge of all the data centers for for USOCOM. I didn't know shit about anything. So I had to learn this shit on the down low. Anyway, so I got into this whole other world. So point is, I transitioned from being a gunfighter for 7 or 8 years I was about 15, 16 years of carrying a gun, but 8 or so in, war. And then now I'm back in the States, like doing normal shit. And all of a sudden my life starts just falling to pieces, like I just suck at it all of a sudden. And I had heard of PTSD, I'd heard of all this stuff, but of course we all thought that only happens to,
like guys like Dave.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't manifest itself the way you would think in the movies. It's kind of cool. Like, oh no, I dream about snapping necks at night. No, you suck at life and you become a life suck on those around you who love you. There are no pretty things about these problems that we go through. It's not a sexy problem. It's a very it's a cringy problem. I mean, it is not. I mean, I would say at least all the shit that I went through was.
No, you're right. I made a joke right before you went real deep, so I just stopped talking. Yeah.
Well,
no, this is good. This is good.
So what the book is, my life like totally went into the toilet. Job, family, career, the whole everything went down from hero to zero overnight. And at that, like at the lowest point in my life, I lost my security clearance. I had a TSSCI, and so that's what allowed me to do my job back in DC or whatever. That's top secret, whatever clearance, which allowed me to do this analytical and data shit for the government. That was my career after the gunfighting thing. And overnight that ended, and I went down to nothing, dude. I was 38 years old. Nothing. Ended up living in my parents' basement, like the lowest point of my life. And I'm like, what do I do now? And I'm sitting around kind of feeling sorry for myself. And I thought, you know, hey, this is kind of an interesting opportunity. It looks ugly, and it is ugly actually, but I'm actually at a neutral point in my life to where I can decide to do anything that I want to do, anything at all, because I have nothing to do right now. I can't do any of the things that I was doing before, so I might as well pick something I really want the most and go for it. And so I started thinking about it, and I realized, you know what? I've always written whenever something, you know, since I was a kid, I always used to write stuff down because it helped me think through it, process it. It was like, what the hell, man? I'll be a writer. And everyone thought I was nuts. I thought I was nuts for even like telling anyone else that was what I wanted to do. And I think, and here's something, and this is very important, especially for veterans. If you don't dream big enough to make other people roll their eyes at you, you're pussing out. You're selling yourself short. Because you have, like I said, you're a Formula One driver. You can do so much. You can't, according to their metrics or whatever. Maybe they are their best go-kart driver that ever existed, but you aren't going for that. So me like picking, hey, I want to be a writer. That's like the equivalent of saying, you know, okay, I'm going to be in the NFL or whatever. It's totally no snowball's chance in hell it could ever happen. But like I said, I had no other thing, nothing else to do. So what the hell? And the only thing to write about, and I thought maybe I'd be a novelist or something. I didn't know. I just knew I could write well. So, and the reason that I wanted to write was only so that I could write well, so that I could communicate with other people, not to be
more gooder,
I think is the right way. So anyway, but I'm trying to like create a novel, or I didn't know what to write. But I was going through all this shit, and I just started writing down little things that would come into my head. That's why each of those damn, you know, some of those pages, there's only a couple lines on there. Mm-hmm. But those things are epiphanies to me of that really helped change how I viewed life. Because, and it's actually in the book, it's not necessarily all about what you know. It's more, to me, about how you think about what you know. Because me and you can know the very same thing. And if you're thinking about it in the right context, and I'm thinking about it in the wrong context, it makes a huge difference, right? Anyway, I started just jotting down these notes and writing these poems and stuff out as I was going through this stuff. And most of it is not happy, lovey stuff, because that is not the kind of things I was going through. This was like I said, the lowest point in my life. And I was just like writing out as the pressure squeezed everything out of what was left of me. I would write the shit down. And I didn't think I was writing a book at the time. I was just putting shit in a notebook. Then and there's a lot that went on in between there, but after a few years, a couple of years, I turn around and I'm still like disappointed in myself because I don't have a writing project or whatever yet, but I turn around and I look back and I'm looking through all my old notebooks. And remembering all these lessons that I've learned that have really helped me transcend, not just get incrementally better, because, well, but actually become. It's not about doing things better. It's about becoming something something better that can do things better. Anyway, so long and short, it wasn't supposed to be a book. It was just a bunch of bullshit that I was writing down, but it was all in chronological order. And I ended up going back and reviewing it and realizing that like this is the in between the lines of a veteran, of anyone, of someone with post-traumatic stress, and dude, it's not just war, it's divorce and all. I think we try and claim the corner on the PTSD market. It's not true, especially after this COVID thing. Mm-hmm. Remember when we first went to war and we were like, everyone knew that a lot of us were going to die. We just didn't know who, we didn't know when, we didn't know how many. Remember that? We thought they had WMD, we thought they had Chem Bio, all that shit in Iraq. Mermaids. Everyone knew that there was going to be, I think we were expecting at least 25%, 30% casualties when we first rolled in before the invasion. So we knew death was coming. That's the same kind of feeling that everyone else in the whole planet had when they found out about COVID. We had already been through it. I don't know about you guys. When I heard about COVID, I was like, oh, I'm familiar with this place. I've been here before. I know what this feels like. It's like a precursor to a war.
What we said, whatever. But
exactly. We started veteran trash talk during COVID because we knew that there would be people that wouldn't know how to handle this expectation. It's like, no, you're good. Let's do it. Hey, let's start talking through some things. This is our time. We're all home. We're all watching Zoom. Let's do it.
Well, dude, I would say for you guys that you applied just as much to anyone else. What I'm trying to say is like the perfect fucking life is not just about veterans. It's not just for veterans, as you had just said. But I would say the same thing about Veteran Trash Talk. I think other people could learn a lot from this because of the experiences that merged together into like what you guys are producing. I mean, I don't know about some of the jokes and stuff, but I'm just fucking with you.
Yeah, nobody would get them. Nobody would get half of them, and the ones that did get them would go, I don't believe I said that.
The veteran thing's a different culture, so I'm not saying that everyone would like get it. But what you guys are doing, and that's the point of the perfect fucking life, is to address not like a demographic, but address people who've gone through some pain, through some shit. Yeah, that's the point. And when you boil it all the way down, it does that. It doesn't matter if your trauma is from getting wounded or watching a buddy die or watching your mom get run over on the freaking freeway. It was a friend of mine, happened to be a friend of mine. Like, it's trauma, dude. And with COVID, the whole world just experienced the first phases of traumatic stress because they didn't, just like we didn't know. We just knew that we had this weird, ominous feeling that a bunch of us are going to get schwacked pretty soon. We just don't know who or when. Same thing, man. Yeah. So I think it's cool that we can kind of help guide other people through this because we didn't know what we heard about PTSD, Vietnam veterans, and all this. Gulf War syndrome was kind of like
shell shock.
Yeah. We didn't really know what it was. We thought it was kind of bullshit for pussies, whatever. Frankly, but it's kind of neat because the veteran community has like a voice now. If people would listen to it, because we've kind of recce'd it out. We've been there recently. So that's what I'm hoping the book does is I really hope it's gotten a great response from veterans, for one, because a lot of people have told me, holy shit, if I could write down what I'm thinking and what I've been thinking as I go through this stuff, this would be that. But I think it's more than just for us.
It is more. And let me caveat off of that, as a safety brief would say. It would behoove you to listen. All right. And again, we've had multiple veteran authors on the show, and they do really well on here because as you guys send us the books and we read them, then you get another veteran's perspective, and then we're all war fighters on the screen. So and then like we talk about, like you said, we started attracting a lot of non-war fighters on Veteran Trash Talk because PTSD, that ranges from so many different things. It doesn't have to do with getting shot at. Like that could be the least of your worries. Yep. Just being in a small room for 2 years, out of your life, and like in hot, shitty weather, like all kinds of stuff. Just but whatever. But your book, like it reminded me a little bit of Wynn Anderson's. I don't know if you read his book, Wombat.
Wombat.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, he's a pilot now, but he was an infantry guy before he became a pilot in the Army. And the way he talked just allowed people to understand how we talk about things while we're deployed. And it was like it just made a little bit of a bridge for people to see it. And I thought you had a really good point about how you can't expect civilians to understand veterans because we don't understand ourselves. And when we started Veteran Trash Talk, we got a lot of people coming in, and it was like, what are you talking about? Like, you know, it's like, so that was perfect. What I wanted to lead into a question with you is two things that resonated when I read the book was you get what you want, and comfortable is the worst disease in America. Right. I thought those two things when I read those were like, yeah, that's what I've been trying to tell motherfuckers for like the last 2 years when I had a little bit of a platform, was like comfortable is like it's a disease. And then you get what you want. Would you mind explaining that, and maybe like what about your service brought you into that writing?
Yeah, you always get what you want. That occurred to me because I don't write this. It sounds like I'm writing advice to people. I'm not. I'm writing all of the shit that I've fucked up in my life. That's
No, right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how I learn stuff, because I make a mistake.
Because you tried.
Yeah. So I realized as I'm struggling with, whatever it is in my life, what I think I want, if I were to, make your 5-year plan and write all that shit down, that kind of thinking, okay, I'm going to write down what I want. Why am I not there? Why am I not closing the gap on that? Well, it's because you're getting what you actually want. You're not getting abs because you're getting ice cream, and you actually want ice cream. You just want ice cream right now. You want abs in the long term, but you want ice cream right now in the next 10 seconds. And so you get what you want. And so you always get what you want. If you really, really want abs, then you're going to give up the ice cream. It's just like what you want, a lot of stuff. You just have to, for me, and I said this before, I think it's a lot more about who you're becoming than what you're doing. And the other part of that is that it took me 38 years to realize what I really wanted in life. And I'm not saying that there's only one thing you'll ever want in life. Some people, they want to be a doctor since they're a kid, or a lawyer or whatever. And so they go to school and they get a map. They get a map and it has an X on it. And they're like, I'm gonna be a doctor. I'm going that direction. Boom, I got my map. I'm good. They go there and they go to school and they're a doctor. At least for me, I did not get a map. I got a fucking compass and an azimuth. And I don't know what is out there, but I know that's the direction that I have to go. And as I follow that azimuth.
So you're a surveyor.
I don't know about that. I don't give me that much credit. I just know that I have to go a certain direction. And when I think that's when you incrementally find what you want along the way. Like, okay, first I wanted to be a fighter pilot. That didn't work out. So I ended up in the Marine Corps. And I really wanted to be a recon Marine. So I became a recon Marine. But I didn't want that for the rest of my entire whole life. And things are going to change. You are going to change as you develop. You're going to want new shit. But the point is, finding out what you really want is probably the hardest question that you will face in life. Getting what I want is not a hard question. Because remember, you always get what you want. That's easy. That's a little bit of self-control. Don't eat the ice cream. Go to the gym. Figuring out what it is that you actually want, that's a much harder question. And like I said, I was 38 before I realized, and like I said, I'd always written since I was a kid. It was actually annoying to me because I'd sit down and start writing, and like 6 hours later, I'd lift my head up and be like, what the hell just happened? And I have, only a page or whatever of writing. But so it bugged me. It was like an annoyance. So I didn't realize that, hey, that's me, man. The reason I'm taking 6 hours and I don't realize it's gone by is because maybe that's something I should pay some attention to, right? So as far as you always get what you want. That's what I was driving toward on that. It was just a kind of this reality check for myself. To don't complain about what it's like the quote that says life don't owe you shit, you owe you shit. It's the same thing. Like if you actually have finally put the rigor into discovering what you want in life, and you have discovered and you found that, and you aren't there, you're not wanting hard enough. You're not wanting right. I guess
you're getting what you want right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's kind of oversimplifying it. There definitely is some. I mean, going through the process of publishing this book and getting it out, and I'm sure there's so many people out there that have written amazing books better than mine that never seen the light of day because the stars didn't align or whatever. But if
I've read 4 books and I've never seen one like this. So
thanks, man. I
It
appreciate
could be a good thing. Or
that could, yeah, exactly. I
think he's trying to say it's a good thing.
I'm not going to listen to anything else you say. Yeah, man. Well, I appreciate that. It is, and actually, that's a problem that I faced because I would float this by publishers, and it's like, this isn't a genre. There's nothing else. Like, well, compare it to something. That's why I like that you can read it in 3 hours, because either you'll love it in the first 5 minutes and throw it away, or you read the rest of it. And so, yes, it is unique. It is different. But so I'm working so this is all in between the lines of everything that, like I said, all this stuff I was going through. It's not the stuff it's not like talking to a guy who's going through divorce and just like, oh my God, shoot me in the face right now, please. And I've been through divorce, so I know I've been that guy. Because all you can think about, all you can talk about is your hardship and trial and this and that. And it sucks going through that. But after a while, your best friends are like, bro, it's been a year.
Yeah, snap the fuck out of it. It's time
A
to
year.
move on. Yeah.
A year. Mine waited 4 days, and they were like, "Hey, man, let's just go out because you're balling us out."
Dude, the best advice I had when I was going through that shit was a friend of mine was like, "You know what you need to do?" I was like, "What?" He's like, "You need to just shut the fuck up." I was really offended, man. It pissed me off. But then I was like, you know what? This might work. And no shit, I quit talking about it. I quit thinking about it so much. And guess what? It helped it. It helped me process through it. It helped me go away.
Hey, if you're constantly putting out negativity, you got negative thoughts floating around in your mind, man. That's just what you're going to put out, and that's what you're going to take in, and it just sucks, man.
Yeah, you listen.
When people say get over it, a lot of people. I tell people when I have phone calls with buddies all the time, and I'm like, bro, you just need to get over it. Like, Dave, that's fucked up. And I'm like,
yeah,
no, bro.
It's not get over it. It's just quit talking about it, and you will just let yourself heal. Let yourself heal.
You got to.
We all have choices in life.
Dave, you got to change the narrative. You got to ask them if they want wooden nails. Right, and they say, "What for?" So you can build a bridge and get the fuck over it. Because you might have to work. You might have to work to get over it. Yeah. It's possible, But I know Buddy's been itching to ask you some questions because this is rare that you see pull tabs on a book. Right, so it must be a college. It must be a college thing that he.
Oh shit!
So like he's got some. He's got. I used my airline ticket to mark what I wanted to say. So
that's good. Yeah. Well, that's where he opened the book and started reading.
Page 74. Yeah.
Yeah. So you have a really good poem about PTSD in there. And I think it's on page 24 if you two nerds want to follow along. But no, it's on page 24, but it really talks about what a lot of us go through and a lot of us don't really talk about. It's kind of you've lived such like everything is so extreme while you're deployed or while you're in the military, everything from, you got to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and stand guard. Well, why? Because if you don't, you'll die. Like if you, you need to brush your teeth a certain way. Well, why? Because if you don't, you'll fucking die. Like if you, you fucking make sure you walk on the fucking footprints of the person in front of you while we're walking through here. Why? Because if you don't, you'll fucking die. Don't fucking.
Or just blow a leg off or whatever.
So everything's so intense, and then all the relationships you have while you're in the military are super intense. The people that you come in contact with, everything is like tweaked out to the freaking max, and then you get back to the States and you've already prioritized everything. Like, should I care about this? Is it something that if I don't do it, I'll die? Or if it's something that I'll just that's future me problems, I'm not worried about it. Like, who cares? But you talk about it, but instead you're talking about it as it goes to like food and appetite, and how you realize that you just don't have the same taste. Like you're not experiencing things the same way that you experienced them before. And so now you're just searching for that experience, but you can't really, like, nothing tastes the same. And I think that putting that in, like, even in the poem for, some guy that's an idiot from North Alabama, I can.
What are you talking about? You're at the Harvard of the Southeast.
Well, now I am at the Harvard of the Southeast. I have
Austin P.
So I'm good. Austin P State University.
No big deal.
Home of the Cubs, not a big deal. But it's written in a way that if you read it and you really think about it, it's pretty easy to understand. And then right after that, you talk about the 22 push-up thing, and we've talked about it extensively on the show. Great, you did 22 push-ups. A, that ain't a lot of push-ups, and B, it's not doing anything other than bringing attention to yourself. It's not bringing anything to anybody else. It's not helping anybody. It's not doing anything. So I really appreciated that poem. I thought it was pretty cool because I've gone through it before, and go through it all the time. And then there was another thing on page 103, and this one's for Nick. I enjoyed this one. It's for Nick, and it's just.
I'm glad I was living rent free in your head that day.
It's real short.
I'm glad I was living rent fucking free.
It's real short, and it's a little secret for Nick. If you're really good, you don't need to be arrogant. I love it. I love that one. But no, like reading this book, I realized that most of the stuff, and Nick was right when he talked about it earlier. Most of the stuff that's in this book. You just
called me right after that. Come on.
Yeah. Most of this stuff that's in this book. That's why you don't need to be arrogant, because other people will do it for you. But most of the stuff that's in this book reminded me of conversations, like, if you're on top of a building, pulling security or in a guard tower or whatever, there's some really odd conversations that go on. But the stuff that's in this book really reminded me a lot of those conversations, and like little tidbits of advice that would come out during those conversations and talking to people. Because you go from like, do you think that you could jerk off with a banana peel, to like, let's discuss the theory of relativity real fast while we're up here shooting the shit and figuring out if somebody.
Dude, that's a really good point that I've never thought of before, and it probably had a great influence on this, because when
Nick's got a good guard tower story.
I do.
Fucking guard tower, standing in line for chow, whatever. When you are fucking, especially the guard tower, when you're fucking pulling security and you're facing this way and the other guy's facing this way, you aren't looking at each other, you're watching your sector, but you're talking back and forth about shit.
Yeah.
Like, there's shit that goes through your mind about life, death.
Fuck yeah.
Banana peel jerking off.
For like 3-4 hours too,
table, bro. Exactly. It's on the table. And
you gotta stay awake. You gotta stay awake.
Yep.
Well, it's stupid shit that would normally go through your mind driving to work or doing something, but there's nobody there to like ask or say anything.
Now you have the opportunity.
It's literally like being sober and like you smoked weed at the same time. But you're just like, hey, man, hey.
Well, that's why the enemy waits about till 2 hours into a guard shift change, because they're like, okay, they're in deep thought right now. They're in deep, and all of a sudden, whack, whack, boom, boom, and we're like, where did that come from? Oh shit, we were talking about banana peels and jerking off. I'm like, I don't know.
Either that, or you're turning facing into each other, like, dude, you think they forgot that we were out here?
Yeah.
That's
But
wild.
yeah,
That's
the-
well
the
put,
book
buddy.
really-
Yeah, it's true.
That book really reminded me of, like, I mean, specifically, it reminded me of sitting on guard on top of buildings, like just discussing things with other people, and then somebody wrote it down. So I think it hits home.
You guys
with
are
a lot
talking
of
about the
people.
bus route at Spiker, or what?
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Well,
So Jason, now I don't know if you watched a few of the shows,
we're
but
missing
but
Salsa
Buddy
Night.
Buddy is the most qualified garrison soldier in the history of the United States Army.
Garrison soldier ever.
He's
Yeah.
a combat diver, combat Halo guy, Jedi master, jump master, all this stuff, right? But then every time he deploys, he gets put on these beautiful bases that have like bus routes and shit.
And salsa.
So it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah, it's horrible. Maybe if you had gone to a couple more schools, some people that needed somebody to teach them some things would have had you around. But they were just like, "Hey, bring the cool guys."
That's where Buddy's
here.
PTSD comes
Leave all
from.
the- leave all
That
the
combat
idiots
The
stuff.
out there
karaoke
fucking
night
around.
got canceled. He was
He's
excited.
like, look, I could kill all of you. I know how to.
Yeah.
They just never let me do it.
Yeah,
Is
I
that
do
John
remember-
Wayne on your bicep, brother?
It is.
It is. It is.
Dude, John
I
Wayne's
do-
my great uncle, bro. No shit. Marion Michael
Oh,
Morrison.
really?
Yep, no shit.
Oh, that's awesome.
Uncle
I,
John,
I-
brother.
I
Hell yeah.
I do remember walking into.
Can you sign his bicep? He won't wash his arm.
I don't watch it anyway. Not a huge deal. I remember walking on a spiker at one point, trying to go into the gym to lift, and
He lifted
they had
shit.
karaoke. They had karaoke night going on. Oh, you guys had a baller gym. Shut up.
We did.
Uh,
We did have a baller
yeah.
gym.
Olsen?
But
That was all
there
right.
was a guy on karaoke night, and he was introducing what was it? Blaze of Glory, but he was like, "This song reminds me of being here in Iraq, except for instead of like the horse, we're riding out on Humvees." And then he starts karaokeing some Bon Jovi, and
Damn.
I'm done, dude. I'm out of here. I
That's
gotta
where your
go.
PTSD came from?
Yeah.
You got no idea how much that hurts, Dave. Okay,
I
you got no
like
idea.
that
Right?
night. It was awesome. Yeah. And then I went to midnight show.
I mean, this is
Oh,
a
yeah, we
great
didn't have any of
conversation. We by no means have to rush it. But hey, buddy, lead that into a question. That last whole 30-minute monologue for the writer.
Well, I mean, I just feel like, you know, is that where your motivation came from? And then that whole PTSD poem,
It was a great poem.
I really wasn't a question. It was just, that's such a concise, articulate, very good. Like I don't know. You
done did good? You done did good when you
You
wrote that?
illustrate what it's like to come back from combat and come back from all of those experiences very well in that poem. That really wasn't a question. It was
appreciate
just more of a
that.
kudos to you.
Well, thank you. But so writing that down was what made me realize what I was thinking, what I was actually going through. I didn't know this until I wrote it. That's how I learned. So me putting that down on paper, and then I read it and I'm like, holy shit, yeah, that's exactly what's going on. It's kind of strange. Because, and that's the thing about coming back. I don't want to just say PTSD or whatever, but going to war, coming back, going through some stressful shit and coming back out of it. You can't really, you don't even really know what's going on in there. There's a lot of shit going on in here that you'll never know about. So to sort through it all and trying to like, I'm feeling something. What the hell is it? I would encourage any veterans out there that are listening to this,
or anyone.
You don't have to be a great freaking writer. Just write shit down. If I'm not saying that's the only way to do it at all, but if I guarantee you, if you start, just pick up a freaking pencil and start writing, and after a page or a page and a half, maybe a paragraph, maybe a sentence, you're gonna start articulating things that you have not been able to do so before. That's the hardest part about writing poetry, is that one, it has to sound good, but the most important thing is that it has to make sense and sound good. So in order for it to like really grab someone, you can sound, and this is the thing about art, like I think art without meaning is shart, but it's crap. That's just me. But You can make the prettiest fucking.
So
you
all
can
my
make that-
drawings, you mean?
You want to call them shark? I don't know. Do they have meaning?
No.
I mean, if you can find meaning in a penis walking around with the cowboy hat on, then yeah.
I was bored. I was bored, buddy.
Okay, so I redact my previous comment. I want to see that shit. That's I would buy that.
I had a supply guy.
There's serious meaning behind it.
I had a supply guy in when I was in the 101st. We went to JRTC for a month, and every time we had to go to a briefing, he would bring the same notebook, and every single time he would draw the most majestic penises.
Is that French?
I correct
because you were third group. You were third group, right?
Dick face.
Fifth group. Oh yeah.
But he would draw the most majestic penises going to space, going like slaying dragons. It was awesome. I don't know what happened in any of those briefings. I would just sit there beside him and just like, yeah, it looks good. Put some more bangs in it. Yeah, that's awesome. Super good.
So welcome to the Trash Talk Hour. We never know when the fire starts sparking again. It's awesome.
He should definitely have like an adult coloring book of just his drawings of penises.
You might have just made him a millionaire if he's watching.
Yeah.
Like,
Maybe.
There you go.
Maybe.
Like,
Jason, where can people get this book?
Amazon, man.
Just Amazon. Okay.
Yeah, Amazon. Just look up The Perfect Fucking Life. Go for it.
So you can't. There's no website to buy it?
I also have a website too.
Okay.
Well, I have a website, but I just do all my shit through Amazon. So that's for now. It's only. I mean, it's in Barnes and Noble too, but it's not on bookshelves or anything.
Hey, Jason, can you stop bragging about the fact that you have an Amazon account?
Yeah, we have. Dave has been tasking an Amazon account for 2 years now.
No, not a thing.
But and then
it's a VTT insider.
Our fake agent in the background can't figure it out either. So
hey, Jason, since you have an Amazon account, would you mind selling some T-shirts?
Put the shirts on there. We're just gonna put the button on there.
Dude, I'll tell you what I will do though. No shit, I'll pimp your shit on my website because I like to pimp my buddy's stuff.
Yeah.
And
we have this awesome button called the Veterans Trash Talk button. It does fairly well, but we definitely want to get it on the Amazon.
I have no shit, man. I have a pretty maybe 3 or 4 people a month go to my website. So
you're gonna have a lot. You're gonna have a lot more. You're gonna have a lot more going
after this show.
So I'm serious. Like no, the authors do really well here, as they should, because I don't think we've had an author yet where I read the book that they sent us and I was like, no, this sucks. And it's like it's. I'm telling you guys who are watching this show, for you scatterbrained veterans out there, or you guys that are in the civilian world that are just killing it, right? And like he said, write your shit down. When you read this, it obviously we're all part of the me generation. This generation encompasses, I'd say 6 or 7, to include boomers, right? Is that we've all in America decided to make things about me. So when you say something, how does that affect me? Even though it has nothing to do with me, but I still try to find a way to make it about me. And I fall into that trap too. And I like how you said in the beginning of your book, and I wouldn't mind you, if anybody has to go, let me know. But because I really wanted to chat about this. That whole me generation, when I read the beginning of your book, it said, I may sound hypocritical. Right. And I deal with this all the time with people when I said, just because I know what you're doing wrong now doesn't mean I didn't do the same thing. And I'm not judging you. I'm just saying that's not going to work out. Yeah. Like that's you're going to fail. Right. And then they're like, oh, you're just being a hypocrite. Well,
bro, that's such a great point, actually, and I love it. When people accuse another person of being a hypocrite, what they're saying is that person has fundamental belief system. Because I don't give a shit who you are. If you believe something, you're gonna fuck up. You're gonna fuck it up. If you don't tell anyone that you believe it, and you still believe it, you're still gonna fuck up. you're still going to be a hypocrite. If you don't believe in anything, congratulations, you won't be a hypocrite. You will never be a hypocrite if you have no belief system. So good job. Congratulations. Everyone's a freaking hypocrite unless you just are a total limp dick. If you're a limp dick, don't worry about it. You will never be a hypocrite because we all fail and we all learn from that shit. But it fucking goes around, man. And that's how you fucking learn about life. You don't fucking go to Beverly Hills looking for wisdom and knowledge and shit. You go where there's pain, man. And I think,
like you said, if you're doing it right, there's going to be a little bit of pain.
Fuck yeah, man.
Yep.
Like, you've seen a professional athlete out there that's just like sitting around eating bananas, banana peels.
Well, you're jerking off with banana peels.
Jerking off with banana peels. You know, sitting around eating fucking chocolate chip cookies and shit.
There you go, buddy. He had a real intellectual thought.
Dude, totally
got into his head.
Freudian slip there. I just can't get dicks out of my head now.
Banana peels, dicks.
It is what it is, man. We won't judge you.
It's a circumcised dick as a banana.
I expect on your poem about masturbatory banana peels, I have credit in there. Thanks.
Oh, I will, bro.
Yeah,
I would definitely. That I'll see what I can do about that. I'm gonna make a note because I
was crying into my peel. All I knew was all I could.
So I'm gonna read the book.
Write it down, bro. Like,
I just
let it out.
a poem for you. You got it. It's you.
So Jason, I haven't read it yet. I just moved, so it's still.
Oh, you moved 2 months ago. You moved 2 months ago.
Literally 2.5 weeks ago.
Yeah,
but
2 months ago. So we got the book.
Thanks. Shut up, Nick. Yeah, anyhow, maybe it says it in the book, but are you going to continue writing? Like, what's your plan for the future?
So, for one, the website is called theperfectfuckinglife.com. So I'm sure that's an easy one to forget. So write it down. No. So there's a lot of shit on there that's out of the book. There's some other stuff coming out. I'm working on my second book. It's called Finally Somehow Home. And it is about, it's actually the stories about my life and this. Don't worry, it's not all about, the point of me mentioning the guys talking about going through divorce and shit is me saying that, don't worry, it's not all about me bitching and whinging and shit about the trials and tribulations I went through. It's about an objective view of my life that, and then within which lessons and shit come up and shit that I've written. And that's phase 2. It's kind of the origin story for The Perfect Fucking Life. But yeah, I'm writing that down. And a lot of that's already on my website too.
Nice.
So it's a little bit different, but there's still, goodies in there, I hope. As far as, well, I know there is, because life's a fucking process, man. Like, wait a minute. If you aren't paying attention, you can go through life and continue to be a complete dumbass. But if you start paying attention, and you might not know what it's all about when you're going through it, but if you keep reflecting on it, things are going to link themselves together, and then you will learn what you went through years before was about. In fact, that's why the second book isn't out yet, is because I wrote the first draft of it about 2 years ago, but I still hadn't learned what a lot of what I had been through was about. So I'm actually going back and rewriting it right now. But I also have I'm always writing down dumb shit like it's in The Perfect Fucking Life and like little notes and this and that. And I would recommend this to all you guys too. If you have an idea or a thought or something that means something to you, forget about if you want to be a writer, if you want people to think it's cool, fuck all that. If you think of something that you want to remember, write it the fuck down. Because your natural inclination is, oh, I'll remember that because it's really good. You won't. Put it in a notebook, write it down on your phone, whatever. I've taught myself so much through that. And I go back through my stuff I get bored or, freaking Pornhub's jammed up and I can't get on there. So I go through my old notes. And
the server's down again.
I have the same problem, but it's when I'm out of banana peels.
Because he got so used to it.
You always get what you want.
Yeah. Oh, dude, if I go to Dairy Queen, I can't walk into a Dairy Queen. I gotta go to the drive-thru now.
PTSD.
They got so many banana splits.
Oh, God damn it.
Yeah.
It feels awkward. It's like like being in the 6th grade. The teacher asked me a math problem, come up to the board, and I'm like, I can't.
Yeah. Hey, Jason, when you when Dave gives you the last word before he closes it out, before I do this AAR that we always do, stick around because the brain started firing a little bit, but a little recap of the show. And we had a mermaid discussion. So I want you guys watching to look deep into whether or not you believe mermaids exist, and then go ahead and email faceman@VTT.
We'll do a poll. We'll do a poll.
Can we stop gendering them, by the way? You guys are disgusting.
Dude, that's a great point.
They're mer people.
Yeah.
They're mermans.
But dude, so here's the different thing though.
Merman.
Can you imagine getting I don't mind getting seduced by sirens as long as they're mermaids. But that's why Buddy. That's why the time Buddy spent on the water, he said he'd never heard a siren because it was always dudes sirening to him. It was mermans, right? And then he didn't want monkeypox, so he didn't mess around with the merman.
No,
right?
hey, look, they've got.
You were spared, buddy. You were spared because you're a combat diver. They said we're gonna leave
mermaid pox.
Not to go to this well one too many times, but they have sea cucumbers. They don't have any sea bananas.
Turns out the sea cucumber is hard to jack off with.
I think we send Buddy to Zimbabwe, funded by Gruntworks and Veteran Trash Talk, since he's a diver, to go fix his dam. Go figure out what the hell's going on over there.
Well, first he has to go find a dam and then fix the dam. So that's
the damn problem out here.
Yeah. But anyways, we had a great guest with Jason, and he's the author of The Perfect Fucking Life. So go to theperfectfuckinglife.com and get it and read it. This book is not going to change your life, okay? But it's going to give you a perspective into just like he said during the show, the ups and downs of life. And you will pick that up in here. When you read it, you're going to be like, okay, I see where he is here. I see where he is here. I see where he is here. And sometimes you laugh. You don't really cry. But it's...
You'll read your own thoughts.
Yeah, you'll read your own thoughts. That was a phenomenal way to put it, buddy. Read your own thoughts. And then, like he said, write them down. You don't got to be an author, but write your thoughts down. And then, like I said, I love this line in it. This is the last thing I'll say for the AAR is comfortable is a disease. All right. And when you're reading through this, you'll understand that because you've already thought it. And I'll have to bring up another line here is that even minor successes can derail you from the end goal. Because as soon as you get little minor successes, it's like, oh, I'm doing good. All of a sudden something bad happens and you're like, fuck it, I'm done. Right. And it's like, those are minor successes. The end state's still up here. Like, go get it. And you'll read your own thoughts in this, and hopefully it motivates you to become a better person. And it doesn't matter if you're a veteran or not. The book will help you read your own thoughts, and it will help you, possibly say, yep, that's what I thought too. But all right, that's the AAR. Welcome back, Trash Talk family and Gruntworks from our vacation. Go get the damn book. Go get it. All right. You're really gonna like it. I'm telling you. And then plus, if you have a book that says The Perfect Fucking Life on it, it's gonna create conversation.
Dude, just so many fucking chicks for that thing.
Buddy will be telling.
It's like a little puppy dog. You're gonna get so many chicks with it.
It's all
the sex appeal. Yeah.
It's an holo guy. So go get it.
Buddy, you're gonna test it out in college. See what happens.
Yeah. But all right, Dave, close this out.
Hey, so for everybody that tuned in late, make sure you go to VeteranTrashTalk.com. That's our website. You can go to YouTube. We need some subscribers on YouTube. We have over 500,000 followers.
We don't care about YouTube. Yeah. That's the problem.
Give us a like, smash that like button, whatever, subscribe. All right, go to gruntworksclothing.com.
I'm on the bourbon already.
Check out some of our awesome merch. Today I got the waterboarding instructor. Apparently this tank top is not fireproof. I'm just going to leave it at that. But so sorry to anybody that's watching. All right,
and that was proof. It's not char-proof.
Yeah,
and that's actually designed by Girls for Gunslingers. So
it is.
You burned a Girls for Gunslinger shirt,
and that's about all you're gonna get. All right, that was the most attention I was gonna give you. But anyhow, great show. We will be back next Saturday, and y'all have a great weekend.
Hey,
Facebook
thank you
and
so much,
TL.
you guys. It's
I don't
fucking
know
awesome.
any of that.
You can
story.
stay